What's up, guys? I'm here with Gus, the accountant.
Good morning, Mr. Will.
Thank you, man.
Mr. Willie Ledesma.
So I want to bring him on board just because you guys might not be familiar with him as much as I am. But basically, I got in trouble with the IRS. And I went to everybody who anybody said was the best in the game. I paid a ton of money for somebody to get me out of trouble. And nobody was able to kind of tell me like an actual definitive plan. I was casually at a wedding where I met Gus, where I knew him, but we got to talking. And in 2 seconds, like, nah, man, we're gonna do this. This is the plan. He gave me a plan of action that not only did it get me out of my issue with the IRS, but gave me a plan to make sure I could, actually take advantage of the credits that I could take for the taxes. So, Gus, thank you. I wanted you to kind of just mention a little bit about like all the changes you're seeing, because I know you're like a master in updating everything, what's going on with the IRS and things like that.
So, guys, I'm Gus Rodriguez, Tax House Miami. We've been in the tax game for 22 years. We are heavy into education, keeping in the forefront. We do the IRS seminar every single year, which is a 3-4 day escapade. We do other seminars where we take the whole entire office. We're all about education and knowledge, and we're all about tax planning. You should be talking to your accountant more than once a year, which is why I'm here, guys. There's big changes going on, both at the IRS level and at the mortgage level. AI is something that's been thrown around very, very widely used, and the IRS is one of them. They are using AI. So
let me give you an example of what I'm thinking, right? This for my fellow Miamians. You're running a business and you're reporting $12,000 for the last 5 years, but you live a life that does not amount to $12,000. There wasn't enough people to look at this. With the AI, now they're setting certain parameters. You could kind of say, hey, well, how is this possible?
Exactly. This AI software gives an audit score to you, and they already have their webs and their tentacles inside of the credit bureau. So if you're reporting 12K, but your card payment's $200 a month, that's a flag. The credit bureau, the Social Security Administration, they know who baby daddy is. They're starting to know who's married. They're starting to know how much you're spending. Your credit cards.
You're saying that now they're connected also with the banks outside the U.S., right?
It's coming. They're connecting with some of the financial institutions out of the country. You're now required to fill some certain paperwork. When you have these foreign accounts, or when you're buying foreign properties as a U.S. citizen or as a resident. So yes, we are now just like crypto. Crypto is now no longer a secret. They know about it. They're actively pursuing all the platforms. So if the platform you had on crypto wasn't reporting last year, it probably report this year.
So my point is, guys, we gotta get away from this trying to hide. Let's get educated. Let's learn what credit score is. The biggest thing with me, like even at mortgages, I'm in mortgages, I help my clients. I tell them, look, I kind of restructure your business so it makes sense. Report what you really make, but let's find what things in your business can give you credits. What are you purchasing? What are you leasing? What makes a difference? And then that's when Gus comes in and kind of tells you, well, hey, if you do this next year, you're going to make these savings. If you do that, so on.
Very good point. Planning for this. So some of the things that you constitute as being a personal expense, portion of that, if not all of that, could be a business expense if structured the right way. That magnet at the side of your, magnet advertising at the side of your car could be a business expense. Having an LLC with your family, that's a management company, and then going out on a vacation talking about business with your family could be deductible expense. So there's certain things you could do, but you must plan, structure, and do it the correct way. It's not just like like the old days where you could just talk and make things up. Those days are long gone. We have to be organized. We have to be responsible. We need proper bookkeeping. We got to be on time with things. Filing things in a timely manner and being organized is number one in this whole process. And software and a good accountant will do that for you.
Yes. So I'll give you guys an example, personal story of mine. We own property. We rent them out. They're Airbnbs. And we never think about this, right? When I go to my Airbnb, I've never gone to one of my Airbnbs to relax. I'm working all the time. My wife is working. We're all like building, cleaning, rehabbing. And we never think that as a business expense, right? And this is something that is like, oh man, you know what? You're right. All that gas, all that, like everything. Yeah, I do the expenses of what you actually, like materials. Yeah, I get expense that. But the fact that I drove there and everything that I did could be considered a business expense. So for more details, more information, always keep a good accountant on deck. Gus with Tax House Miami. you can't get better than this.
We say what the lawyer, the accountant, the mortgage broker, and
I don't know if the mortgage broker is in there, but you definitely need a lawyer, an
a money
accountant,
man, the
and a
money
doctor.
man. You need that.
Brother,
Thank you,
appreciate
Will.
you, man. I really thank you for being here.
Look what little business you guys is here.
Hit him up.